How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/ARTS. Just go to Indeed.com/ARTS right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Tape Deck Media.
Welcome to Hosstown. I'm Taylor Ruddle.
I'm Matt Lilley.
We are the Bears of Hosstown. Let's start the show. Welcome back to Hosstown, folks. I am Taylor Ruddle.
I'm Matt Lilley.
We are the Dons of Hosstown, back for another month.
Yes, we are.
How's everything going for you?
Oh, it's been going, productive. Life is moving, the world is turning.
The world spins on its axis.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. Well, are we flat earthers here at Hosstown?
Well, the more horses, the flatter the earth gets.
That's true, isn't it? Hopefully it doesn't get too flat, because then it would eventually flip.
Reverse the poles, the obesity pandemic eventually.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's rare that we've done one lately where we've had such a short amount of time in between the last episode. I think it's the first time in months that we've actually hit the sort of monthly target, so good to be back.
Yeah.
We really had to scrape the bottom of the barrel for some topics, but I think we've got some good ones to talk to.
Well, okay, I just read the first topic on the list, and you call that scraping the barrel?
Speaking of scraping the bottom of the barrel, Matt, tell us about you.
Yeah, I had Matt's, we had 60-ish minutes with Matt Lilley last week, first hour, got the first hour show under the belt.
So you just to clarify, you went from doing a 30-minute like 2 weeks ago, or a month ago,
yeah, 2 months ago,
straight into an hour.
No, it was my second 30-minute. I did a 30-minute about midway through last year,
right?
And then the 30 in January, and then did an hour on Friday. And
so, what was that like for you?
It was interesting. It was fun. It was not as long as I thought it was going to feel.
It goes by quickly, doesn't it?
Because I felt like the 30, the first time I did a 30, that felt long. Even though it went well, it still felt
long for me in the crowd too, my friend. No, it was a delight.
Yeah, but 60. I don't know. It's just like, because you just don't even think about the time in the first 30, because you're just like, why would I bother looking? I know I have a lot long ages, so I'm getting off anyway. I
remember the first time I did a full hour. I had been seeing a bunch of comics doing like an hour, but it was get an opener to do 20 minutes, do a 15-minute at the top, then they would all have like something that eats up a lot of time in the middle, like pulling a projector down or like, playing a musical instrument that they don't play normally, and like, really padding out the hour. So I was petrified that I was going to get to the end of it and it, it would have been 20 minutes or something. But I remember I looked at the timer thing and it was like 57 minutes or something. And it's like the relief that I felt after being like, okay, I can actually do an hour. That's great. Was fantastic. I
had that relief too when I got, because I told the tech guy to light me at 50, and when I hadn't started the closing bit and I got the light,
that would have been the sweet. You see that light go on, and you're like
I was close. So like my closing bit was probably about 5 minutes, and then like I started it probably at 51. And I was like, oh, there we go.
You would have been like one of those Tour de France drive, like they cycle up the hill and then they know it's just down to the end of the race. Oh, what a sweet feeling that is.
Yeah, it very much was. But no opener. Didn't go opener for this one. The main reason...
Really? You just wandered out there?
I just wandered out there, did crowd work for like 2 minutes and then got into it. And main reason, not to this is not me trashing any comedians in the scene, but like I watched. I don't know if you've seen it. You know Doug Stanhope. Yeah. His most recent, I forget the name of it. He put out a YouTube special.
Is it where he's on all the TVs?
Yeah, he's on the TV.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, and he comes out at the start and he's just like, it's a midday show he's doing, and he's just like, no opener. I'm perfectly qualified to be less funny than myself for 20 minutes.
That's so good.
It was just,
I love that.
I was like, and also I was like, I want the. We'll go in raw.
Just that Stanhope energy.
I don't want anybody. I don't want to blame someone else for fucking up the show too. It's just
what I like doing is, and this is just to make me feel like a big dog, is if I'm doing like a solo show, I'll come out first and do the MC stuff, and then I'll get to do that cool like, hey, here are some of my funny friends, and we bring them out, and then I do like the rest of my hour. I quite like that, but that's from a purely egocentric point of view. Like, it just makes me feel better about, like, makes me feel like I'm somebody, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I remember when I went and saw Tom Segura, he kind of did that, but just like he came over the loudspeaker.
That's right.
And he was just like, here's my funny friend, whatever his name was, who was very funny. I just forgot his name.
But I couldn't remember. He was hilarious.
Yeah. So
he pointed out something about cigarettes. Hopefully I'm not blowing up this joke here. I'm guessing more people will watch him do this joke than watch this, but he talked about how in New Zealand, because cigarettes are like $20 for a packet, he's like, I should be able to smoke this wherever I want. Because like no smoking indoors, and you're going to pay this ridiculous price for cigarettes. Yeah. Same thing with David Correos, is we always had to make sure that he went out first to like kind of, okay, everyone, I'm here. You're in the right place. And then, it wasn't just me walking out and they're like, wait, hang on a second, that's not the guy from the poster. Yeah. Which doesn't really happen in comedy because I've been to concerts and it's expected that the first guy coming out isn't the main artist. At least like, so I've been to like, I've been big hip hop rap fan. I've been to a bunch of shows. I've been to big ones where like they have 2 or 3 openers and they each do like, the first guy might do 15, the next guy do like 20 or 30, and then the full hour and a half for the main guy. And I've been to one where it was just like, he just had like his DJ / hype man just do like his own mix of songs for like 10 minutes, and then he brought the main performer out. So it's kind of like there was always someone else. Even though when you get one where it's a lot of openers and one there it wasn't, but like everybody kind of knew like, they'll be here eventually. Yeah, that's right. It's definitely. I actually just read recently that apparently this whole idea of musicians doing 2-hour concerts is a relatively new development. Like, interesting. Apparently the Beatles used to only play for about 30 minutes. That was a concert. And it was something to do with the fact that it was like back then, like the example that I saw was that, the day the music died, where there's like those 4 country western guys that they all died in that plane crash. Yes. So that was kind of, you'd go to see like a concert and it would be like 4 or 5 musicians doing about 20 minutes each. Yeah. And so people were just used to seeing a band for about that amount of time. And so the Beatles, I guess them doing 30 was like them doing a long set. And then something changed where I think it was due to the fact that because of the Beatles, they were now filling stadiums. It was kind of like, if you're getting people into the stadium, you want them in there for, a good amount of time. You don't want to go through all the work just for a 30-minute concert. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember if that's what it actually said, but that's what it feels like to me. And then the other thing was, the people that were coming out, used to just be acceptable that they were going to see maybe 2 acts they didn't know or whatever it was. But people just were like, well, I just want to see, my band for the time. And so, kind of interesting little bit of music history there. Yeah. But none of those shows could have compared to Friday. No, 60 minutes. 60, I mean, 60 minutes with Matt. Beatles who, right? Yeah, exactly. The 14 people there were riveted. Screaming just as loud as those screaming. I did have one fun interaction with the crowd where, like, this guy just the one. No, this was interesting. It was the guy was definitely a hoss. But he was with his people that night. With his people, but he was just like sitting in the middle back of the room, and then he just starts talking to his mate, just really loud, and being and then I just had to stop, and I was like, "Hey mate, you right? You want to clue us in?" And he just goes like, "Oh, sorry mate, I'm really high right now."
I was like,
That's so polite, eh?
yeah. He was just like, sorry, I just completely forgot where I was.
That's
basically.
so funny. That's so self-aware for someone that's high. Yeah. Like, oh, I love that. Well, to you, anonymous high hoss out there, thank you for being such a sport about it.
And thanks for buying a ticket.
Yeah, thank you for purchasing.
I hope you had a good show.
I think we were talking. We do eventually need to do a Hosstown live show. What would we do for that? Like, because we're gonna have to do some kind of stand-up, but like,
could we make it like a Hoss Olympics?
As in we're doing the sports, or the audience members doing the sports?
Or like a Hoss, or could it be like Hoss of the
fastest time to eat a hamburger, or something like that?
Or it's Mr. Hoss. We're doing like a beauty pageant type thing for the most hossest.
It's like sort of got the energy of a dog show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like brushing out the long hair. Like, oh, look at that. There's a hell of a coat on this one.
Yeah, this is Andrew. He's 34 years old.
He's taken blue ribbon in the beard competition.
Blue ribbon in the beard competition. 6'1" and 135 kilograms. And Andrew is what we call round and stout.
Yeah,
a rare combination, both. You know, you don't get many stout 6'1" men, but he is quite.
he pulls it off.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's very interesting. I like that. We could do competitions. Yeah, good.
Hoss competitions.
Hair and beard is definitely one.
Yeah.
Maybe. You don't want to go to like heaviest Hoss because they might make. I don't think they wouldn't want to read it out. But
no, there's no scales allowed.
No,
what are we talking about?
No. We could do something like I do. Like
we hang a scale in ceremonial, just like freeing,
like Burning Man.
Yeah, we burn a giant effigy to.
We bash it up with a baseball bat.
We burn a BMI chart. I don't know.
I love it. We could do. I like the idea. We get a bunch of glizzies, and it's who can eat a glizzy the fastest. I think that would be fun. We'd probably have to figure out some kind of health and safety thing there because we're giving food away. But like, maybe also if we just, unrelated to us, just outside of the venue, left a tray of them, and we're like, oh, let's all go look for some food. Hey, that looks good. Let's do that.
We do a Hoss scavenger hunt.
That's interesting. Yeah.
We could do like a whole afternoon, like a Hosstoon.
You could definitely fill an afternoon.
Just fill an afternoon, just like once, get like just rent out. I don't know, like a burger restaurant, and then just like we just kind of just.
I bet you could find some new age like. Like smash burgers are the current thing at the moment. I bet you could probably find a smash burger restaurant that would be down to host something like that.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah,
interesting.
And they'd promote,
Yeah, we'll have to look.
We could partner with a smash burger restaurant. We could a Hoss Smash. We get our own burger on the menu.
Hoss burger has a good ring to it.
Hoss burger does have a great ring to it.
Man, I like that a lot.
Hoss burgers.
Hoss burger. We should do. Like there's a TikTok guy who started a restaurant out of his own backyard. He just has like a griddle thing in his backyard, and he just makes hamburgers. And Uber Eats drivers come up and collect it and take it away again. Hoss burger pop up. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah,
I like that. Did you see those T-shirts I put up on Instagram the other day?
Yes, I did.
So viewers, go to my Instagram, Taylor Ruddle Comedy. There was we could talk about this a little bit actually. So we're both. Are you born in the 90s?
Yeah, I'm born in the 90s. I'm not that much younger than you.
Yeah, no, there's about 4 years between us, right? Yeah. So, the nostalgia of the video store. I was, I think I've said the nickname Big Queasy in this for me. If not, I'm sure I've talked about it on another episode of the podcast. But I was remembering that video store, Video Easy, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. We'll make a Video Queasy like logo takeoff, and then I thought. It's interesting. A lot of these companies don't exist anymore, so I can just rip off their logo as much as I want because who's going to come after me, right?
Yeah.
So I made Hossbuster Video, which is like Blockbuster, but I literally just took the Blockbuster logo and changed the letters. Video Queasy, I at least changed it up a little bit. And then I made I thought I had to have a third, and the third option was Civic Video. That was the other one that I could think of that we have here. Yeah. And I just changed it to Civ Hack Video. But when I did the poll on Instagram, nobody clicked on that one. Yeah, so it was all between.
I voted for Video Queasy. Which, yeah.
So I need to actually make a note for myself to get that on my merch store this weekend. And
I feel like there's something you could do with Civic Video, because Civic Video, that's the one we had. That was the nostalgia. That was.
I still remember the radio jingle. See it at Civic.
Yeah. I remember when I was like getting into high school, that was the first place I took my resume when I wanted a part-time job. I wanted to be a video. I never got the job.
That'd be a sick job, I reckon.
But then like a year later, it had closed down. So we were getting,
yeah. We were really in it's like the last days of the Roman Empire. You know, we were in just these crumbling institutions. One of my favorite subreddits to go to is like it's like r/used to be a Blockbuster, and it's like used to be a Blockbuster, but it's now been bought by like a Chinese restaurant, and so there's that ticket sign outside, but it's got the logo of a Chinese restaurant in it, and it's all like you can clearly see it used to be a Blockbuster video, but they've just, instead of changing, you know, I'm guessing it was like what would they make those signs? Is it plastic, fiberglass maybe?
Yeah.
Instead of changing that, they've just painted it in the colors of whatever their logo is.
Yeah.
There's another one that you can see. It's you know, Pizza Hut used to have that distinctive roof on it.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's literally a Domino's in Blenheim that's in an old Pizza Hut building.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I love it. Let's talk about my TikTok.
Oh, your TikTok.
So,
yes.
Been plugging that at the end of the shows quite a bit, and had a modicum of success with an impression of our Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, doing... What was the first one? I think the first one was POV, Chris Luxon is your situationship.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And then I've done Chris Luxon is your flatmate. He ate someone's pasta out of the fridge and refuses to own up to it. I uploaded an experimental one today, which was Chris Luxon is your Dungeons and Dragons DM, excuse me. And yeah, this has been slightly bemusing to me that this has taken off. Like, to you who knows me in person, and like, is it actually a good impression, or is it just kind of like the Emperor's New Clothes where...
Well, I think you've done well with the cadence. That's what so much of an impression is. You have like the cadence of how he speaks, because your natural voice isn't like a million miles away from his.
No, yeah.
So I think that's where it's not a huge vocal stretch, but once you get the cadence, and then like
the squint of the eyes that he does, where he has this kind of little head movement that he does. I saw an interview today. It's apparently people are saying Luxon's getting better at not being as corporate, so I might be out of a job. You know, this well might run dry soon if he gets better at like being human.
Better at not being corporate. So but that's like saying he's gonna get worse as a politician. I mean, like the guy is Mr. Never Give a Straight Answer. That's literally how and people have just caught on to his trick. I think is more kind of what's happened there. Not to get political, but
yeah, that's the funniest thing I've noticed about it is that I've had like right wing people sharing it, and I've been like, that's interesting. Like, even they're kind of sick of him. So it's like.
Well, because I think he went on Mike Hosking, and Mike
was going after him. Yeah,
showed Mike Hosking is
about as right wing as you can get.
Yeah, well, he's the most the biggest right wing guy in the country. So, yeah.
And then I hated about this experience as well is like all the notifications start coming in, and that's fun for about a day, and then it started to get really overwhelming, and I was like, oh wow, this is like I finally articulated the feeling is that you're not in the driver's seat anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like it starts to run away, and you're kind of like, I think I identified the reason I was feeling anxious about it is because I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen. Like, it could end today, or this might just keep going and keep going. Thankfully, it petered off.
Well, because it went, and then it cooled, and then it went again, didn't it? Or did it just keep going?
So the first one went off and got up to about 140-something on TikTok. Then there was a second one. So that was the second one I uploaded. And then the first one that I uploaded didn't do that well. It did okay, but it didn't go crazy like the second one did. But then that started picking up, and so that got to about 50 or something K. And then on Instagram, it just went huge, and it's up to like it's like 500,000 on Instagram now. And it's like, yeah, you can't really predict like what it's going to do, I guess, is the main thing that I've learned from this. And then as well, I've now learned that I think if you want to make a career in doing this kind of stuff, you got to be hitting something like that every week to really like send yourself in. Like, you know, I've had one pretty good hit, or two, 1.5, but you know, nothing's changed really. Like, I'm not selling any tickets. No one's recognized me in the streets. It's I guess like, yeah, it's what is the expression? It's like you're like, okay, cool, we finally got a viral or whatever thing, but then you're like, oh shit, actually, that's not even like you need like 100 more of these. I don't know how many it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of, well, I think I don't know, because have you tried to sell like push your because you may not have got like the followers, but your account probably has got the increased exposure.
Yeah, I went up by like 1,000 followers on TikTok, which was crazy.
So I mean, you haven't really tried to see if that would shift like into ticket sales or anything, because like it's very New Zealand specific. So at least you may, like, I don't know, next time you go up to Auckland and advertise a show, you might get a few.
Yeah, I'm going to be huge in Auckland.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like you won't see, like, if you keep going with it and it stays like steady or something like that. Yeah, you won't see like the real tangible difference until you try and sell tickets somewhere.
And I think my plan is I'm just going to keep going hard for that for the rest of the year, and then next year when the fringe circuit and stuff runs around, I'm going to see if it's made any kind of difference.
Yeah,
I think as well, like, I've been seeing UK comics do this a little bit, where they, like you used to have, like, as seen on like Just for Laughs, whatever, like all your TV credits. Nowadays people just write like 5 million views on TikTok. So like I actually have a fairly decent number to write on that now. I think if I stacked everything together, I could say I've got 1 million views on everything.
That would work with like help with trying to get into like festivals and stuff.
I think so. I think maybe even if you just put your tag and you put like, whatever views, people might check it out and be like, oh yeah, I'll come and see this guy. So yeah, I don't know. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what it's like trying to sell a show next year. I'm not going to bother this year. I'm just going to like keep grinding. But the one thing I'm really happy about as well is, like, David Correos said this to me years ago. He was like, your audience is like a Reddit guy. And I like, don't get me wrong, I love Reddit, but I don't want that to be I don't want only that to be my audience. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think Reddit is pigeonholing. I think just online guy would be a good way to.
Online guy, yeah.
Yeah, online guy. Just, I don't know, but that is quite broad. Because, but
my favorite thing about mocking the right wing government is my followers now are crazy diverse. Like, it's all. I don't think there's like a Māori flag, but it's like the red, the white, and the black heart. People put that, like, so many usernames that I see pop up have like that in it, or there's like a lot of Palestine flags, a lot of like trans flags, and I'm like, okay, I got out of the internet guy. Like I sort of, like, don't get me wrong, if you're an internet guy and you follow me, thank you, but like I just figured that would be a weird vibe to try to get like a lot of rolling laughter going in a show. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's just a bunch of me, it's
just just a very deep guttural kind of
but a lot of the guys correcting the facts after the show, that kind of thing. But I don't know, I'm just happy that I'm reaching I don't
know, have you seen Stuart Lee's special from last year? I love it so much. It's just
that woman bought a ticket by accident. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Will you come back next year? No.
And then he's just like the guy watching it on the laptop, just like,
and then he's pointing to it and saying, see, this, I'm saying what he's saying here, and because I like him, I'm intelligent.
He's a genius, and so am I, because I like him.
I need to rewatch that bit, actually. That's so funny.
I watched it again like 2 weeks ago.
It's so good. So then you asked me, I can give some tips out for posting on the algorithm, because like
like I was saying, I was asking you, like, the algorithm is like, it's becoming the god of the kingmaker. Like, instead of like having like an actual
network or something,
a TV network exec that we'll never know, it's literally this mysterious algorithm, unknowable, all powerful thing that will decide whether we have some sort of career or not.
Well, here's what I can. That's kind of scary, isn't it? That it's I almost look at it as like we're back in the days before civilization, when people thought that like lightning was like the great serpent in the sky, and they would do things like bury a rabbit at the altar to try and appease. Like, I feel like we're doing that again, because it's like, put all these hashtags in this particular, it's like you're chanting in Latin or something, like all these incoherent, hashtags, and if you post it between this time and then whatever, on this day of the week, it's all that kind of thing. But here's what I can say for sure, this is what I've realized about it, is if you're a content creator, you're a comedian, anything out there, Wednesday at 12 o'clock, well, actually, I go for more like 12:15, because my logic is like, everyone goes for lunch at 12, right? Or the majority of people go for lunch at 12, but no one actually gets to start lunch at 12. Something holds you up. You get stuck in a phone call. Teacher doesn't let you out early, whatever it is, and then so 12:15 to me feels like most people would be out for lunch then. So you want to catch the thing with TikTok, especially, is you want to catch the most amount of people you can straight away, because it decides how far it's going to push it based on like how well that initial reaction gets. Yeah. So you want to really like load the dice where it's like, I've noticed that like Monday at noon is okay. Not many people are on. No. It's whatever. I think everyone's tired. They're getting back into it.
Well, they're more like, I'm actually going to focus today. It's first day of the week.
Exactly. Yeah. Hungover and stuff maybe. So Tuesday, pretty good. Tuesday noon, pretty good. Wednesday, like, trust me, Wednesday 12:15 p.m. is like the equivalent. You remember like primetime movies would be like 7 o'clock on a weeknight or something. So like that's the equivalent of that now.
Because then if it keeps rolling like Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday evening, more people are,
that Luxon thing went for like a full week, I think. So there's that. Thursday, I wouldn't bother. Friday and Saturday are interesting. Yeah. People are actually on at like 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. So you can, but the problem is, I think, if you post something at 12, you get like the whole day's worth of people liking it and reposting it and sharing it. Whereas like maybe a lot of people are on at 9, but they're about to go to sleep at 10. So it's not a lot of time to pick up the steam that it needs. Yeah, so it may get a good burst at the start, but then it's going to fall off a cliff regardless. Yeah, exactly. And people say that like, I'll post it at like 8 in the morning because people, the first thing they do when their eyes open is they grab their phone and they look at TikTok. Yeah, but that's the mindless scrolling. That's like they're not really taking anything in. The attentive scrolling is that like, first 5 minutes of your lunch break. Yes, exactly, yeah. So like, honestly, I cannot stress this enough. Creators, Wednesday at lunchtime is when you should be posting. That's when it worked for me. And then the other tip I say is like, this is where I've had to really teach myself. You almost have to reteach yourself structure, because like most of the skits that I do are essentially a stand-up sketch, but I'm just doing the character. So like I did the one today, it was Luxon as a D&D DM. And there was a joke that I found to be like the funniest of the thing, which was him saying, there's a bunch of elves. Today's quest is you're going to go find a bunch of elves that have been squatting illegally in this forest. They haven't paid any rent, and we're there to put a stop to that today. So that was like the last thing that I recorded when I was just sitting here rattling off like vaguely D&D sounding jokes. And in a stand-up set, you would want to like crescendo. You want to build, you know what I mean? Like the funniest punchline is the one that comes at the end. But I reckon with TikTok, you almost want to do it like first or second. So it was like, you get the premise out there. They go, okay, cool, I'm here for this premise. Then you hit them with a massive joke, and then they're kind of like, okay, well, I'll listen to the rest of this, or they'll swipe away or something. So like, you really want to like front load your content. Don't save like the banger of the punchline for the end. Get that out like first or second in there, I reckon is the way to do it. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense, because it's all attention. And also, like, I know when you look in the back end of like your Instagram reels and stuff, it's like one of the big statistics is like three it's like 3, they tell you like plays of like 3 seconds. 3 seconds is what they that's like, because less than a 3 second play is nothing. Yeah, it's someone just scrolling off. Yeah, but it's. I also, another tip I can give that I've done myself as well is look at what other people are posting and then make your stuff look like that. So like, you have the title like POV Luxonage or whatever. I just copied like another creator who used to have it in that box at the top. And then as well, you want to make sure that where it's sitting on the screen, it's not going to be covered by any of the... It's like you want as few barriers as possible between like the really important information and the viewer's attention. You know what I mean? Like if they can't read the premise because it's covered up by a bunch of shit, they're less likely to like, stick around, I guess. Yeah. And James Rocase, I'll give credit to James. He said this ages ago. He's like, if you want to make it on TikTok, you actually have to watch quite a lot of Tiktok to see what people are doing. That's the problem, really, isn't it? Because that's the thing. Like, I can't. The only thing, to be honest, I go on TikTok for is recipes, which is weird. But like, then I just peak host behavior there.
Peak host behavior, but like, but that's the thing with it, like, because most of my time, I'm a YouTube guy. Yeah. I'm a YouTube guy, so I'm kind of thinking like, is that more of the avenue to go? More longer form commenter, like, but then are you going to become a commenter? Just, I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, I would say, because that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't know. I don't consume a lot of comedy on Instagram either, as well. Like, most of that for me is.
Yeah, I don't like watching stand up on Instagram.
Yeah,
I like watching weird reels and stuff, but then people will send me stand up clips, and it's like 8 minutes long, and I'm like, yeah. Me as a stand-up comedian, not wanting to watch.
I feel like only comedy I would watch on Instagram or TikTok is just one-liners. They're the only ones that really work. Cause like,
I prefer that. I like watching a stand-up clip in the whatever, 1920 by 1080 or whatever. Like that to me is like, But I mean, that's just probably our age, right? We've grown up with it, and so. And
that being said, I know the YouTube audience is like 85% male as well.
Yeah,
so
my followers on YouTube is like men 35 to whatever, and then like TikTok. I'm so happy on TikTok. It's like 50-50. I've got like so. And I mean, that's the thing as well. You have to think about the platform you want to post, like, as to who your audience are. You need to.
A video on there. Yeah. I want a Tesla. No, I don't. Anyway,
that got me. Let's roll on.
Let's keep rolling.
You're going to be an uncle soon.
Yeah. Thanks. I've been working on something in the background. No, I've done no work to be an uncle. No, my sister-in-law's about to pop.
So that's your brother's wife is about to have a baby. So
older brother's wife. Yep. So I'll be the main uncle, top uncle, fun uncle.
Is it your first time?
Funcle. It'll be the first time. First one in the family. First one of our like generation of like cousins and stuff. To have a kid. Even though my brother's I think the second oldest on that side. So so it'll be everybody's going nuts. The aunties are going nuts. The grandparents are now going to be great grandparents are going nuts. It's kind of interesting. How
are you feeling about it?
I've barely like I guess not much is going to change in my life, to be honest.
I was going to say it is not a massive change for you, but
no, when I go around to my brother's house, there'll be a screaming baby.
There'll be a child there.
So that's a big change. That's the main thing.
But how often do you visit your brother?
Oh well, I don't. Well, I'll see him at least pretty much once a week.
Oh, okay, so that is quite a lot.
Yeah. So unless one of us is away or something, but usually at our parents. But there'll be a baby there. But like it's profound. It's I'm gonna have someone to mentor, someone to corrupt, someone to
because you have to decide what kind of uncle you're going to be, don't you?
Yeah, Funcle. It's got to be the Funcle.
You're going to learn some magic tricks.
Gonna learn some.
I feel like you got to learn a magic trick.
You got to have. That's how you get that first laugh. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, will I branch off to become a children's entertainer just by trying to entertain uncles and nieces and nephews and all that?
I've done stand-up for children once, and it went a lot better than I was expecting it to. So I think there's a market.
And piss jokes.
That's right. I do think there is a market for a children's stand-up show. We a lot of work to make it happen, but I think it's definitely doable.
It's just not. They don't really, not a great bar spend.
No, they don't have a lot of disposable income, do they? You'd have to really hike the ticket prices up on that one to get your money's worth out of it. Yeah.
Or you just tour a lot. You just tour schools.
Tour around,
primary school tour.
Get the school to pay you. Yeah, that's not a bad business model,
Yeah.
Hosstown Junior, we could call it.
Hosstown Junior.
That's cool.
We start a podcast network. We just like hire a couple of like rotund 12-year-olds to do a podcast.
Oh man, I don't know how. Maybe
that's child labour.
That's true. Yeah, there's a bit of a grey area there. Isn't child labour.
But gonna be a uncle. So
uncle, nice
uncle. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah, it's the baby's likely going to be a hoss.
That's right. That was the reason you told me about this.
Yeah, because talking to the sister-in-law, she said that the head size, the size of the baby's head, is in the 98th percentile. So pray for her. She needs it. And
does your brother have a large cranium?
He's got a bigger head. He's shorter and smaller than me, but his head's bigger.
He makes up for it in
he's a real bobblehead.
And melon size.
But like only just like we have the same hat size, but his is slightly bigger.
So do you have a large hat size?
Yeah, 4XL. It's the only the only hat that my sister-in-law found this place, but the only hats that fit me and my brother, we have to order from this random website in Norway.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
you got that Norwegian.
Yeah,
they got the Norwegian cranium going
that
on.
Norwegian cranium. It probably is
Norwegian noggin,
Viking-esque.
actually. Isn't it?
Yeah.
The Norwegian noggin.
Yeah, it's probably because it comes probably from the Scottish Highlands, from the Vikings that ascended there. But yeah, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, I thought I had a bit of a pinhead for a while, but because I remember going to a birthday party. No, was it a birthday party? It was a costume party, and it was when I was a student, and I made what was that game? Skyrim. Do you remember there was that helmet on the front of the Skyrim? It has those horns coming down. So I made fair enough. So I made a replica of it out of cardboard.
Yeah.
And everyone else at the party tried to put it on and couldn't get it onto their heads. So I think I have quite a small head. Well, I think I had quite a small head. However, lately I've noticed maybe it's the hair; it's getting bigger. I'm having to, I'm up to like the second to last. There's little dot things on the hat.
Yeah.
So. Maybe my brain's getting...
I have that thing wide open.
Oh, you don't even click?
Don't even click it shut. Wide open.
You know what you could do is you could buy a new hat and just cut the tag, cut that strip thing off and then sort of attach it, put it in between. Oh, no, hang on, because you need holes and divots to connect them both, eh? So you couldn't just cut...
Well, what I could do is just get a belt and cut off the ends of it, and then sew that.
That could work, yeah.
And then I've just got a leather belt on the back of my head, holding my hat on.
How long have you had long hair for?
3 years.
So this is we've decided as if we weren't getting mistaken for each other often enough. My hair's now it's not catching up to you as such, but it's getting longer. That's for sure. And I think I'm sick of it. I don't.
Yeah. Well, you're at that. I was saying to you the other day. You're at
the worst point.
The mid length is the most annoying length because it's. I also you look great, but I also felt like it's the period that looks the worst. It looked the worst on me anyway.
Yeah. No,
you look like you have a 5-year-old girl's haircut. Not you. I did. That's what I'm saying. I had a 5-year-old girl's haircut.
Yeah.
From my hair, I didn't steal it, but.
Give me that.
But yeah, no. So I think if you stick with it, it'll either get more annoying or you'll start to like it. So.
I feel like that's a metaphor for many things in life, right? Stick with it. It'll either get more annoying or you'll start to like it.
It's just relationships, really, isn't it?
Outstanding.
Wow.
All right, let's go on to the next one.
Yes.
Professional wrestling. I did some ring announcing for Unified Championship Wrestling, which if you're watching this, that'll be the Hostan YouTube channel, never mind. I had my first crack at doing some ring announcing for a wrestling show. Lots of fun. I am now very jealous of the pop that wrestlers get. It is 100 times louder than any laugh that I've had from a stand-up show. I also completely understand why, this was a show with, I don't know, maybe 300 people or something like that. So I can't imagine what it's like when you're in an arena full of people, how loud that must be.
Did you see old John Cena in Brussels when he on Raw the other week where they just booed him?
Yes,
to death?
yeah, they were just singing along John Cena sucks.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That would have been insane.
The amount of memes that he created from just that speech, with this one where he's going, "What do we get? What do we get? You get nothing." People are using that for when their kids ask them for things.
Or the one where he's I've been in a toxic
abusive relationship.
Even that kid is just it's a chubby little kid who's in tears.
And just before he said that to him, there's a clip of the kid going, "I love you, John," or something to him. And then I saw that clip, but when he points to him, there's that audio of 50 Cent going, "Why you say fuck me for?"
Unified Championship Wrestling at the Kaipoi Working Men's Club.
Yes, indeed. I actually don't. I guess I can talk about the experience of it because it was me and then the other announcer is Taya. She's a local actor and that sort of. I think maybe she's done some modelling as well or something, but. We were basically the what do you call it, the timekeepers area. So we were ringing the bell in between matches and obviously doing the ring announcements and stuff. And man, we had a good seat. We're basically front row. It was incredible. I mean, I did pay for a ticket as well, so I wasn't freeloading there, but man, what a good seat we had. It was just right next to the ring, and the hard cam was here, so it's not like they were facing away from us. And I don't actually have a lot. It was just a lot of fun, to be honest.
So did you get to go ding, ding, ding on the bell?
So I've heard. So for the match starting, it's ding, ding, and then for the ending, it's ding, ding, ding. And you have to. It's actually really anxiety inducing because like they make it look easy on WWE, where I guess they must have a hammer. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You have to hit it in such a specific way. Where it's like the hammer has two sides. It has a round side and then like a flat side. And then the bell, you don't hit it on the top, you hit it on the side. And you have to kind of hit and then move it away really quickly because otherwise you get this weird vibration thing and it sort of like smothers the sound, I guess. And for the first few matches, we were getting texts from the back that were saying things like, you need to be ringing the bell louder. And I was like, I'm hitting this thing so hard. And so like, there's this weird anxiety of like when like near falls where someone gets like 1, 2 and then they kick out or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is so much more anxiety inducing when you have to be the one that's ready to ring the bell because you're like, is this it? Is this the match over? Is the match over?
Yeah.
And so you're kind of it's like whenever someone kicks out, like the reaction from me is real because I'm like genuinely like this matters like whether they are pinned or not. And then you ding, ding, ding. But, like, it's so much fun. But, man, I was really getting up in my head about it at times, eh?
Yeah. No, because, like, if you go early, is it technically over or does the crowd just go, what the hell's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like the crowd don't notice that something's amiss until they don't see it anymore. Like, and I think we had one match that devolved into kind of chaos, and like we were given very strict instructions of like, wait till the ref points at you to ring the bell. But there was like a fight that started before the ring, before the thing, and so we're like, do we ring the bell again? Well, the ref didn't point at us, and the ref's trying to stop them from fighting each other, and then we just get the text like ring the bell. So we're like, all right, so we ring the bell, and then like the ref gets everything kind of in order or something, and then the ref points at us. It's like, oh, damn it. Like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it was my first time doing it, so it was like, it is what it is. But
so do you reckon any chance of you getting in the ring yourself?
Oh, man. I jumped up in there to just like, because I didn't want to trip over when I got in the ring, and I was wearing my Crocs as well, so I was really worried about that. But then, and just like, have you ever been in a wrestling ring before?
No.
Oh, man. It's like, it's just so much fun. Like, there's something about the way you kind of lean on the ropes and you kind of walk around and you hear all the planks going, and like something about it is, it just feels like, it's like, when you were a little kid and you were play fighting and stuff like that, but in your head you were picturing like the ring. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're living out that kind of like, that's what you'd been seeing in your head as a child. So like I got a lot of back and neck issues, so I don't think I would ever become like a full-time wrestler, but I'd love to train enough to do like a couple of matches. I think it would be like a bit of a bucket list thing for me. And then especially after having been in the ring and like just sort of looking around, it's like, oh, that'd be so much fun.
Just get to the manager level, get managing someone, and then your arm twisted, get tied up in it.
I'm already here.
Yeah.
So you said you were gonna, well, just how's the fitness in general?
Fitness, it's been maintaining. I think I lost a little bit. I'm getting comments now from people being like, "Oh, Matt, you're looking trim." You're looking trim, but I don't know. I feel like I got sick like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so that kind of took me out for at least a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then slowly getting back into it. How about yourself?
No comments. So I assume we talked about this last time. I assumed I'm going to hit a point where I need to start really sorting out the diet. So I'm assuming I've hit that point just now. Although I did send a reel to someone the other day, and they were like, "Yeah, you're looking pretty trim." So yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. It's hard to tell, I think, because you see yourself every day. And I think we just got really lucky in that it had been like 4 months since we noticed. Like, we looked at how we looked in the last Hosstown versus like in November, that thing. It was like, oh, yeah, that's a big difference. So maybe we have to do like another hiatus. Come back and see. But you told me you were going to change change gyms.
Yeah, looking at mainly because, I was just looking around. Mainly for one reason, like this one gym that I was telling you about before had the sauna cold plunge combination.
Oh, they got the cold plunge as well.
Cold plunge.
You didn't mention that off camera, you naughty monkey.
Yeah, naughty monkey. Well, cold plunge. That's a little bit less exciting, but I've been really getting into the sauna. Big sauna guy, big guy in the sauna. But yeah, something about just sitting there and just
I love the
letting
sauna.
it.
Yeah.
Letting it, like, yeah, it's just.
Are you a naked in the sauna guy or?
Well, no. Well, I've never been in a sauna in a private place. I don't know. There's that. I mean, not really. Yeah. Because
I could never bring. I was in Japan for 3 years, and so they had saunas. I went to a Gold's Gym there, which was a cool, to go to a legit Gold's Gym, and they had a sauna there. And you'd see the Japanese dudes go in there naked, but I could never quite bring myself to go full. I think I had a towel around, or
at least a towel.
Yeah, and like you put the towel down to sit on it. I feel like I maybe chanced it a couple of times, but
maybe a steam room because then you can't really see.
Yeah, there's a lot of blurry kind of thing. Yeah.
Sauna.
Someone looks and they're like, "Hey, there's about 3 guys in there right now." It's just me. Oh, sorry, fellas. Didn't realize it was so busy in there today. The both of us in there. They're just like, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, sorry gang."
I mean, this might be difficult, but live podcast from a sauna.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. All this equipment would probably go.
Yeah, it would.
The cold plunge is interesting. I've always wanted to. I'm curious as to how much of that is bullshit and how much of that is legit science.
No, most of it is fairly legit. It depends what you're doing it for. Like, some people take it too far where they're literally like, "Oh, cold plunge, it'll add 5 years to your life."
Okay, yeah.
It'll reduce inflammation a little bit.
Yeah,
it'll wake you up.
I've heard it can also just be kind of psychological. Like, once you've got that out of your day, out of your way, the rest of your day is kind of easy.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it's just the hot cold thing. We used to do it back when I was in high school playing rugby. I remember it was a big thing back then. I remember we had this big tournament that we went away for up in, I think, Hastings. And like, our coach was big on doing the hot cold thing. So like, he got us. So we used to do it at like the public pools here. Like on a Sunday after our game, we would go and the regular, it wasn't freezing cold, it'd be the regular pool and then into the spa pool for a minute and do that.
Yeah.
When we went to this pool in Hastings, they didn't have like a cold pool.
Right.
It was all pretty heated. So he got us to go from the spa pool, and then he got the emergency fire hose and was dousing us with the emergency fire hose to cool us down after being in the spa pool.
By hook or by crook, right?
Yeah.
We can close on this. I actually learned something kind of recently. Did you see that thing I chucked up on Instagram about the sumo wrestler signing cards by putting an ink stamp?
Yes, I did.
I feel like if we ever do Hosstown autographs, we've got to do that because that would be the perfect way. If you haven't seen it, look it up. There's like a guy, they have these, they're specifically made for autographs in Japan. You can buy them from like a convenience store. And there's someone with a big stack of them in front of him, and there's a big pad of ink, and he's just putting his hand down on it and then whacking it onto the thing, and then like the person will, the assistant will take it away, he does another one, and he's just sitting there doing this. And I was like, that is such an efficient system of signing signatures. So yeah, if we ever do Hosstown signatures, I feel like we got to adopt the sumo handprint method. Yeah,
definitely.
Alrighty, well, my flatmate just got home, so let's not let's wrap this up here. I don't want to ruin his evening. Plugs. Any plugs coming up?
Nothing big. Just Late Night Laughs at Good Times Comedy Club. We've got a couple shows coming up, and
Am I on that?
Yeah, you're on. I got two in April. You're on one of them.
Yeah,
so,
we haven't talked a lot about this, but relationships a lot less tense with our Good Times Comedy Club and me nowadays. So yes, I'm going to be on that. I'm on something. I'm on a Saturday show, I think, in April sometime. Go
nice.
Check out the. I think they might actually not have their license during that because it's Easter. They're going to get their license,
sometime around then.
So yeah, they're currently dealing with a bit of bureaucracy. The license lapsed, and then I think was it the cops or something? They're playing kind of hardball.
Yeah.
So I think it's Easter. They're going to get it like officially reinstated. So I mean, fuck it. I don't drink, so come along and do a dry bar comedy on the night that I'm in there.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, Matt Lilley 9 on Instagram, Matt Lilley Comedian on Facebook.
Taylor Ruddle Comedy on everything. I think that's all. I don't have any just the usual gigs, quizzes Tuesdays and Wednesdays, comedy at Austin Club on Thursdays, Beats by Bingo and Rangiora the first Friday of the month. And if this one goes out before it, and I think it is, we've got a Cancer Society fundraiser at Austin Club, 10th of April. It's $20 to get in. 10 of that goes to the comedians. 10 of that goes to the Cancer Society. So it's a bit of a win-win situation there. I think it'll probably sell out. The last one sold out, so don't delay. Just go to Austin Club's website to book in. You can book in digitally now, which is great because people used to not know how to do that. I think that'll do it.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in about a month.
See you next time. Thanks for listening to Hosstown.
Don't forget to share the episode and leave a review on your favorite podcatcher.
See you next month.
We'll see you there.
This has been a Tape Deck Media production. Thank you for listening.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.